are 5 signs that you're not lazy. You're actually dealing with something called executive dysfunction. Before we jump in, I just want to mention that executive dysfunction is a primary feature of ADHD, but executive dysfunction can go along with other things like anxiety, depression, autism, and more. Sign number 1, you actually want to do the thing that you're struggling to do. Laziness, which there's a big discussion on whether or not laziness is even a thing, but if it is, I would define it as, not caring if you get something done, not being anxious, not being stressed, just, it doesn't matter to you right now. If you're sitting there like, get up, do the thing. Oh my God, I just want to read my book. This shouldn't be this hard. What's wrong with me? That is not laziness. That's executive dysfunction. Sign number 2, you don't deal with this bullshit when you're at work. It only happens when you're at home or especially when you're alone. When other people show up, all of a sudden you're a perfect productivity machine and you can do everything that is expected of you. And you don't understand the discrepancy. Why am I such a superstar at work? And why am I such a lazy piece of shit at home? Yes, the reason is usually because there's a lot more structure at work, and a lot of times at work you have discrete tasks that you finish and then you move on from, whereas at home there's a lot less structure, and the tasks that you have to do, like dishes, are tasks that you have to do over and over and over, and that's much more daunting to people with executive dysfunction. Sign number 3 that you're dealing with executive dysfunction and not laziness is that you have trouble engaging with your hobbies as well as your chores. This isn't just something that gets in the way of things that you don't like to do. It also very much gets in the way of things you would like to be doing. Sign number 4 is there's a discrepancy between how much you dread doing the activity and how long or how hard the activity actually is. Very often, people with executive dysfunction will put something off for literally weeks, and it will take us 10 minutes when we finally do it. And we can't help but feel very silly and often stupid when that happens. Finally, sign number 5 that you're dealing with executive dysfunction is you probably experience one of 2 primary emotions around your executive dysfunction. You either feel unbelievably guilty for those around you who have to pick up your slack, or you're just super numbed out to it and just defeated, learned helplessness. You don't even try anymore because what's the fucking point? If I just described you well enough that you're a little concerned that we're secretly the same person, it's not because I'm a psychic. It's because I am a life coach who specializes in executive dysfunction. I experience a lot of it myself, and I've done a lot of work over the years to both be more productive and feel less shame when I can't be more productive. If you want to learn more about what you can do about executive dysfunction, I actually have 3 completely free trainings available at my Schmink in Schmio. So go get those. They're literally free. And if you want even more support, I actually have a paid program called Neurodivergent Magic, where we focus on the practical and emotional skills that you'll need to cope with executive dysfunction long term. Again, Schmink and Schmile.
A new episode of my favorite show just came out. Do you want to watch it with me later? No, not really. Okay, is everything okay? Why don't you want to spend time with me? I would love to spend time with you. What does that have to do with anything? Well, I just asked you to spend time with me, and then you said you didn't want to. I didn't say I didn't want to spend time with you. I just said I didn't want to watch that show. But the show wasn't the point. I wanted to spend time doing something together. Well, then you should have said, hey, will you watch this show with me? And I would have happily said yes. It's just not a show that I would usually watch on my own. Can you go check if the dishes are done, please? Yeah, of course. Okay, I just checked and they're done. Did you put them away? No, why? If the dishwasher is finished, why wouldn't you put the clean dishes away? Because you didn't ask me to put them away, you just asked me to check if they were done or not. Okay, but use some common sense. If they're done, they need to be put away. How am I supposed to know that's what you wanted me to do if you didn't tell me? So I've been meaning to tell you this for a while, but I have feelings for you. What do you mean you have feelings for me? Where did this come from? I mean, I've been dropping hints for months and you've been completely clueless this entire time. I just thought we were friends.
What people think ADHD paralysis is. I'm feeling a little bit lazy today. I think I'm going to have a nice, relaxing time. Watch some shows. Versus what it really is. I have so much to do today. I need to get up. Oh, wow, it's such a mess in here. I have to do the laundry, fold the clothes, do the dishes, sweep the floors. Okay, get up. 1, 2, 3, get up. Get up. Get up. Can I just get up? What is wrong with me?
If you have ADHD and you've ever abandoned organizing halfway through, it's because your prioritization system is based on interest. For someone without ADHD, your brain sees the mess. You think about the steps needed to organize. You estimate the time that's needed. You separate the things that have a place versus random items. You put the things that have a place back, and you find new homes for the random items, and you're done. If you have ADHD, that process is not so simple. You might not even see the mess. Whereas other people might find it messy and distracting, you might not even clock it. If this is you, save this video now and keep listening. Say you see the mess, and now you need to think about the steps needed to organize this. People with ADHD have a hard time breaking down tasks based on priority. Instead, their priority ends up being what's the easiest or the most interesting. The problem with this is that maybe it works out, but usually it results in incomplete planning and execution. Now, with this skewed knowledge, you have to assign time values. Is it going to take 10 minutes? Is it going to take 3 hours? People with ADHD already struggle with time perception, so this is pretty much a guess. Now we separate the things with a place and the things out of place. I'll stop you right there because nothing has a place. So now you're trying to find places for things to go. This requires making a series of increasingly more detailed decisions. What is this? What is it used for? How often do I use it? And maybe you're fine with the first 5, the first 10, but after a while your brain gets tired. At this point, you might be sitting in the epicenter of your mess, and you replace any motivation with a solid brick wall of being overwhelmed. Most people know exactly when that switch flips. So how do you prevent this? Quite literally have another human there.
Do you want to go out to eat later?
Huh?
Do you want to go
Yes.
out to eat?
Oh, sorry.
So after you take out the garbage, I was hoping you would put the laundry from the washer to the dryer. And then I need to have the fridge cleaned out because there's a bunch of moldy food in there.
Okay.
And then,
Hold on. Laundry.
did you hear anything else I said?
No.
Here, try this.
Okay. Ew, what is that? Oh my god.
It's lemonade.
Oh. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, when did this character get here? I need to go back. What just happened? I need to rewind.
Hey, I'm so sorry, but do you mind if we turn the subtitles on? I just can't understand what's happening. But the movie's in English. I know, I just don't understand what's going on if I can't read along with the dialogue.
Ow! Oh my god.
I just poked you. How did that hurt?
I have no idea.
Do you remember? Remember? Remember?
A classic ADHD struggle that maybe you didn't realize was hard for you is transitioning, as in switching from one task or focus to another. Think about your day so far today. How long did it take you to actually get up from whatever you were doing to go and feed yourself? Or how long did it take you to transition from a preferred task to something you preferred less? Say scrolling TikTok to actually getting started on some work you need to do around the house. Or it could even be between 2 preferred tasks, not wanting to stop one that you're super focused on. This is very normal and has to do with our ability to mentally shift from one task to another. And a great way to get better at managing your ADHD is to first notice how often you are doing this, because you might be surprised. A lot of times we struggle with this because ADHDers tend to have difficulties with executive functioning, which is organizing yourself to switch from one task to another, and it takes some different steps and planning, and that's hard for us. So one thing you can do is start noticing when you're doing it and coming up with rituals to help you transition from task to task. And if this was helpful for you, follow along because I post helpful ADHD content.
When I say transitions are hard for me, I don't just mean that they're difficult. Like, I can do transitions, I just need to do them at my own pace, and usually that pace takes a really long time. Switching gears between activities, getting in the shower, waking up, going to bed, stopping a fun activity to do something that's a priority, especially when it comes to my special interest, feels like psyching myself up to jump into a cold pool of water. I get into the pool first by dipping my toes in, and then maybe I'll put my feet in the water, and then once my feet get used to it, I'll move down to my knees. And I'm telling you, it takes me like an hour to actually get into the pool. And once I'm in the pool, it's fine. If I let myself get used to it first. Like, the actual swimming in the pool part isn't what's hard. Once I'm used to it, it's usually fun, or at least bearable. But it's the changing of states between dry and wet, warm and cold, that if I have to just like jump into the water with no preparation, I'm not going to be having a good time in the pool. Because the way I got into the pool was distressing for me. But it's It's frustrating because then sometimes I'll take a really long time to get into the pool, and then by the time I'm ready to have fun swimming, everybody's already done and they want to get out because I took such a long time to get used to the temperature of the water. Is this a metaphor or not? I don't know. This applies to a lot of things in my life. So it's not that I can't do transitions. I can totally do transitions. I just can't do them at most people's pace in most people's way or method.
What will be your first priority? I will have 7 first priorities. Safety.
In very classic ADHD fashion, I have a massive list of things that I need to do, but no concept of which is a higher priority than the others. So here's what I'm gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna do is brain dump. I wanna take all of the thoughts that I have and put them down so I can visually see them all. Because right now it's too foggy, too much going on. The next thing I'm gonna do is put that aside. I wanna create a goal outline so I understand what are my priorities. For work, my goal right now is to ensure that I'm not missing deadlines. Now I'm gonna go back to my list and assign due dates to all of these things. Now I'm gonna use something called the Eisenhower matrix. Essentially, it maps out tasks on 2 scales of importance and urgency, creating 4 quadrants. Now I'm gonna take my brain dump and add it into the matrix, utilizing those deadlines I've set for the tasks. Now I'm gonna look at my important and urgent column and recognize what it is that I actually need to be focusing my energy and time on. Is it frustrating that it takes this amount of work for me to understand what I need to do every day? Yes, absolutely. But does it help? Hey,
Okay, I'm ready to get to work. What do we got? Here's everything you need to do today. We're going to begin right here with filing paperwork. It should only take you about 15 minutes, and when you're finished, we'll move on to the next task. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, no need to thank me. I live to serve. What are we working on today? Got a lot of shit to do, man. Yeah, what's new? Just give me something to work on. Here. That's not helpful. Which one do I even work on? I don't know. There's some more on the floor. Okay. What are they? These ones.